won't be betting on basketball this year.
Or ever.
Yeah. That's a shame, too. Guess I'll just have to keep sticking to the WNBA. We know they're not throwing anything.
Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. We're the Buds helping you cash your bets. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. The betting world has been turned upside down with
Yes,
the
it
NBA,
has.
which stands for no bets allowed, apparently. I mean, like, they need to follow that code because it has been a crazy mixed up world with that shit going on right now.
Yeah, that is insane right now between, Chauncey Billups. And that's, we've talked about this before with the NBA being a little on the shady side sometimes. But it's the Chauncey Billups poker ring that's really throwing me for a loop here.
Again, these guys, I was listening to Michael Francesa, the former mob, boss and all that has been reformed himself after him getting caught for his different schemes and things he did with the La Cosa Nostra, and apparently this was an FBI investigation with that. So these guys, what it is they become prey because their competitive edge, their competitive needs never get satisfied completely.
Yeah, gambling does do that.
And gambling will do it. I mean, we know. I mean, that's what gets us going and keeps us going into it. That's why I only try to stick to NFL football and not really deep dive into full degenerateness.
Right.
Because, that shit can probably get you down a rabbit hole very quickly and very deeply. And, it's one of those things, man, that, I don't know. Once they get their hooks in you, that's the problem. Because, Jonte Porter, when he got it, with the Toronto Raptors,
right.
I mean, they got his hooks in him. He had some gambling debts. All of a sudden, he gets leveraged. A lot of these players, they get leveraged. Because a lot of people hear these millions and millions and millions of dollars, but these guys live these multi-million-dollar lifestyles.
Yeah, it goes away pretty quick.
It goes away quick.
$50,000, $60,000, $70,000.
Right. I mean, and some of these dudes got no problem going up to the table and betting $50,000 on a hand, or $100,000 on a hand. I mean, you listen to Dana White talk about it. He goes in, bets $200,000 a hand, $300,000 a hand on a blackjack. That's why certain casinos don't let him come back, because for him, he gets up and walks away because he's like, I live in Vegas. I don't have to go back. But some of these players, they go on a little trip to Vegas for a weekend, and they go $50,000 hand, lose it, $50,000 hand, lose it, $100,000 a hand to try and get it back. And then before you know it, you got your mortgage, you're getting leverage. Your kids' private school fees are high as hell. I mean,
shaving points on games.
Yep, you're shaving points on games. I mean, because once they get those hooks in you, they go, all right. They start threatening family members and everything else like that. I mean, it becomes a problem.
It is.
Because anytime you're dealing with a bookie or anything like offline or out of casino gambling, I mean, there's going to be anybody who runs a book of any kind is getting leverage or has some type of mob backing of some capacity.
Yeah, the money's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, there's no, because, and then the enforcement of collecting that money has to come from somewhere, because, I mean, these guys aren't really, it's not like they're really putting any money down, but they're taking your bet. And then if you owe them $50,000, $20,000, $5,000, whatever it may be, they're going to have a way to collect.
They got to have a way to collect.
They have to have a way to collect, because, again, like I said, it's not like there's any money physically coming out of their pocket, but they're not going to be able to run a legitimate, well, I won't say legitimate, but I mean, they're not going to be able to run a business. They're not going to be able to run a sports betting business that way.
Sport betting.
Yes, exactly. So, black eye on the NBA once again when it comes to the gambling world. The problem is I think they're going to have to get rid of a lot of those prop bets. It really, what I would think the biggest thing, I was listening to Adam Silver talk the other day, that they got any two-way players, any guys that are on two-way contracts, basically, where that means they're not a full-time NBA player, full-time contract where they can be released at any time. You can't put them into any sports betting.
No, you shouldn't.
Get rid of some of these prop bets for some of these guys that are kind of middling players like that, and certain prop bets that are really pretty much irrelevant. I mean, you got, because right now, I mean, you look at these guys like Terry Rozier. I mean, his biggest thing was, you can see, we were talking about all the clips of him getting pulling himself out of games.
Out of games, or blatantly bad passes.
Yeah.
I mean, blatantly bad passes.
Bad passes. And again, there's so many games and so many nights. I mean, most people don't even look at that stuff like with a fine-tooth comb, except for those people who do it for a living. And those are usually the guys that are the ones that break it out, or usually expose it as the guys who do it for a living.
Well, that was in the story today, too, because somebody made a large bet on Terry Rozier to hit unders across multiple avenues. And,
And that's always a big red.
Himself out.
And that's always a big red flag. That is all. I mean, and usually it's the professional gamblers that usually spot that before anybody else, and they go, "Oh, okay, wait a minute."
Who the hell's betting $50,000 on Terry Rozier?
Right, exactly. And same thing with Chauncey. I mean, I didn't even know Terry Rozier was in the league. I mean, I've heard his name maybe twice.
Right.
The same thing with Chauncey Billups with these gambling, these poker games. I mean, that's where listen to professional poker players say that, hey, the word was out on the streets for us in this poker world that, hey, you really didn't want to get involved in those games. You really didn't. So. I mean, again, the guys who are professionals, they kind of know, they spot it because they do it for a living, so they know what games to stay away from, what to shy away from. That's why we call them degenerates.
Yep.
That's why we call them degenerates.
Not trying to get there. All right, let's talk about the Blues for a little bit. Man, they got blown out again last night at home, 7-4. 4 first period goals. Hofer's been yanked in back-to-back starts. It's just not going good at home right now. They're 1-3-1 at home. They've been outscored 23-11. On the road, they're 2-0, 9-4 on that first West Coast trip. They need to get away from St. Louis for a while, regroup, start the season over. Because if this keeps up at home, like I don't care how good you play on the road, you're gonna lose road games.
Oh yeah.
This season can get out of hand really quick. You cannot play this bad at home.
No, I mean, luckily it's early in the season. I mean, that train can switch around really quickly here.
It could. I mean, they go that. But the crazy thing about it is that they had won 15 previous games in a row, and I mean, I know you're bagging some of those. You probably shouldn't have won all 15 of those games. So now you're getting a little more loss than you would like. But 1-3 at home is just unacceptable.
We just need Hofer to right the ship. I mean, Bennington's looked like he's been okay.
Bennington's been really good. Our top line's not really producing. Robert Thomas has almost been non-existent this season so far.
I mean, and maybe there's an injury thing that they're not discussing so far.
Hockey is funny like that.
I mean, they're very funny like that. So they're very under the vest when it comes to injuries.
So the Blues need to kick it up a notch, but we will see. They got another game this weekend.
We got a long way to go. All right, so a quick little gloss over on college football real fast here. So our home team, Mizzou Tigers,
big game. Big game this weekend.
Yeah, big game against Vandy this weekend. Mizzou's ranked 15th, Vandy's ranked 10th. It's in Vanderbilt there, down in Nashville. I mean, it's going to be a big game going on. College game day is down there.
College game day is down there.
I think it's a 2:30 kickoff for that game. So it should be a big game, a good matchup back and forth with each team.
I expect I would say somewhere around 30-27.
Yeah, they both got good running games. They both can actually stop the run fairly well. So
it's Pavia. You got to be able to contain him in the pocket.
That's the wild card right there is Pavia. I mean, he's a dog and he knows how to win. So I mean, that's going to be the wild card in this game.
Yes.
Is how much can the Mizzou contain Pavia?
They have to contain him because if they just let him run wild, they will lose.
Yeah, then they will lose, and they might get ugly pretty fast
pretty
too.
quick.
And it's funny because last year when Mizzou went to overtime with Vandy, nobody had saw Vandy being what Vandy is now.
Right.
So I remember how much shit Mizzou took for going to overtime and needing overtime to beat Vandy, and now we see where they're at right now.
No, Vandy's legit.
Yeah, they are definitely
they
legit.
beat Alabama last year, and they
beat LSU last week.
Beat LSU last week. I mean, played Alabama really close this year.
Yeah.
Mizzou played Alabama really close this year.
Yeah, closer than what we would have thought.
Yeah. So this should be a really good game.
Yeah. So then next up we got Ole Miss, number 8 ranked team in the country, versus number 13 Oklahoma. Mateer is he's still battling a hand injury. See how healthy he's going to be, but it's at Oklahoma. Ole Miss coming off of the loss that they had last week. Was it who did they lose to last week? So, Georgia. Yeah, Georgia. Yeah, they lost to Georgia last week. So they lost that game to Georgia last week. But I mean, it should be a tight matchup going back and forth there. Oklahoma's always a tough place to go in and play. Oklahoma's defense looks really good, but Ole Miss offense is pretty explosive too as well. So that should be a great matchup there. And then the last one, Texas A&M.
Yeah, this is
number 3 at LSU, where I think Brian Kelly's going to coaching for his job right here.
He is for sure.
I think if he loses this game right here, he might not be back next year at LSU. I really think because that means they're going to miss the playoffs if they get the third loss.
Texas A&M can take a chokehold on this thing right here.
Oh yeah,
they're the only team undefeated right now in the SEC.
And as a Notre Dame fan, I'm looking for Texas A&M to get that win right there, so that keeps their power stack up going there.
Yeah, I mean, this changes depending on who wins these games this weekend because this is very SEC centric.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, SEC is just loaded like always. I mean, every time when you look at everybody's SEC schedule that's coming up the rest of the season, it's just ranked number after ranked number after ranked number after ranked number.
Because Mizzou plays Texas A&M next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a tough sled and get through this SEC.
Yeah, and then Oklahoma after that.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, there is no cakewalk anywhere you're going forward in anybody's SEC schedule for the rest of the season.
Nope.
All right, so let's dive into this going football season here. So we were a little late behind here.
Yeah, we were behind it.
Yeah, we missed taping yesterday. So last night we had the Vikings and the Chargers. Chargers pretty much dominated that game. I called a Lad McConkey touchdown. I think we both got this cover on I had 3.5 of them covered.
I had 3. We got the cover. I went over. He went under.
Yeah, I went under. So they actually went over. It was 44.5. I think they scored 47 points last night. So we're down. I'm down there in that end from that game. But it was, I mean, pretty much a dominant performance by the Chargers.
It really was.
Joe Alt came back, and so they got Joe Alt.
Yeah, and you've seen the running game.
Yeah, slid him back into left tackle. I actually hit another parlay last night. I got Lad McConkey on his yards. I needed him to get like 75 yards receiving. Vidal had to get 76 combination rushing passes.
Yeah, and he actually had a really 127.
127 combined. Yeah, 117 rushing on the ground. So, I mean, great game for the Chargers all the way around. I mean, pretty much a dominant performance. Carson Wentz just got beat the hell up all night long.
He did.
And honestly, you had to almost tip the cap to him. It was a Warriors effort because you could tell how bad he was hurt and beat up. That left arm was just done. I mean, I
think he was crying on the sideline though.
Yeah, that left arm was gone.
It might have hurt that bad.
Man, like for real. I mean, like, there was 2 or 3 times I was like, a lesser man would have came out of that game. I mean,
no, there's no doubt. He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he's a tough son of a bitch. You know, I mean, just give the hats off to that ginger because, I mean, he came up and he did it. You know, he fought his ass off.
And they're saying J.J. McCarthy for next week starting for the Vikings. I just don't see how their season might be.
McCarthy's got to get in there. I mean, they have to get this kid in here, and they got to get him reps. I mean, otherwise you're going 2 seasons without getting him any.
No, I understand that part, but I mean, I just don't see him giving them a better option. He's more mobile. He's
more mobile. The team actually likes him. They actually rally around him and like him as a leader. Okay. But I mean, I just don't know how ready he is to really lead this team for a playoff.
Yeah,
push.
This specific team.
Yeah, this team for a playoff push at this moment. I mean, you're looking at. Man, would they have been better off with Sam Darnold? Absolutely. Would they have been better off if they got Daniel Jones back in the building? Absolutely. Yes. But, you know, right now they invested in J.J. McCarthy. That's how the politics of the NFL goes. Right. When you're a general manager, you got to let that kid play. I mean, you have to let him play and get him in there. That's the landscape of the NFL these days.
It is.
All right, so we're going to move on past that. We're going to go into Sunday slate. Now, the first one we got is the Bills at the Panthers. Bills at the Panthers. Bills are favored by 7.5. Who do you liking this one, Bobby?
I mean, I like the Bills to win this game, even though they're traveling down to Carolina. The Bills got to get back on the winning side of football. They've lost 2 in a row. I mean, you can't lose a third because you will quickly lose any right to that division.
You don't want those Patriots to start coming knocking again.
I mean, you go down 2-0 or 2 games to the Patriots, and you could be in serious trouble.
Yeah, they might be in trouble. So. With that being said, who do you like get this game on the cover?
I'd like Carolina to cover the 7 points, though.
You got 7?
Yes. Okay. As much as I'd like the Bills to win the game, they're not playing very good football right now.
Yeah, they're coming off the bye, so hopefully they can right that ship.
And Carolina, I mean, they've been playing better. That run game's going really good right now. You've got the Red Rockets starting this week. Right. So hopefully that run game keeps up. But give me the over 46.5 in this one. Okay, Buffalo to win.
I'm with you on the over 46.5. I think we're in total agreement on this one. I had 7 and a hook. So with 7 and a hook, I definitely want to take the Panthers on that one to cover that game. I remember I said the preseason they were my sneaky cover team. Going into the season, Bills win the game, and I like the over.
And I mean, Rico Dowdell's been just a absolute gym fantasy find.
Yeah, and that's been one weakness that the Bills have had this year.
They can't stop the run.
They can't stop the run. But give me James Cook as my anytime touchdown scorer for this game here. All right, so next up we got the Jets at the Bengals. The Bengals with a big win last week against the Steelers. Big, huge win. That's why Mike Tomlin was so pissed off that
the Browns traded.
Yeah, they brought in Joe Flacco. Flacco's revived that offense. The Jets have actually benched Justin Fields. Bringing in Tyrod Taylor to start this game.
Yes.
I think the actual quote from Aaron Glenn is, "We will have a quarterback in this game."
Oh, shit.
Yes, that was just, yes. I mean, that shows you the state of where the Jets are at right now. 6.5 points the Bengals are favored by. Yep. I like the Bengals actually to cover this game, get the win. Yeah. I like the over at 43.5. I just feel like the Jets are spiraling out of control. Bengals are at home in this one, and I like Jamar Chase as my anytime touchdown scorer there.
So I'll take the under in this game because I just don't think the Jets they might move the ball, they might not. Who knows? You really just don't. I know the Bengals defense isn't that great, but the Jets defense is pretty good. So I don't see the Bengals just scoring 50 points.
Yeah, so I can see it being like 24-21. That's kind of where
and that puts it over.
But I can see it even being more than that, just because like I said, you never know what you're going to get out of Tyrod Taylor.
No, you don't, because he could come in. I mean, he's a crafty veteran. 15 years in the league?
Yeah, he's at least 12. I know at least 12. So. But I still picked the Bengals to cover that 6.5 points. So, all right. Next up, we got the Bears at the Ravens. Ravens coming off their bye. Ravens have needed a big win coming off the bye there because they're 1-5 right now. Yes. They're pretty much in desperation. They're in playoff mode right now.
This is playoff mode right now.
They're in playoff mode going from here on out to the rest of the season. Bears are actually 6.5 point dogs going into Baltimore. which is surprising with the record, the way the Bears have played the last couple weeks.
Yeah, it is kind of high.
Yeah, that's surprising.
They shouldn't be getting that many points.
Yeah, it's surprising, so that makes me want to wonder what the books know right there on that. So that's really where I lean on this one. I like the Bears to cover that 6.5 just because it's a little high. But I think the Ravens will pull out a victory going into at home. I agree. Coming out of the bye, I think Lamar Jackson's been practicing this week, so I think they'll be ready to go. I like the under at 49.5.
Yeah, we're in total agreement on that one.
All right, and give me Derrick Henry as my anytime touchdown scorer. They've got to get him going.
They really do.
They've got to get him going.
He's just been non-existent. How's it working out for you, Dave? It's not.
I got him in my other league, so yeah, it hasn't been going very well for me either. So, all right, next up we got the Browns at the Patriots. The Patriots, the first place Patriots in the AFC East here. Who do you like in this one, Bobby?
I think the Patriots cover the 7 points here. I mean, Cleveland, this is a done season again. Yeah. It's a lost season again. Give me the under 40.5 and New England to win.
All right, I'm with you with the cover, the win for the Patriots, but I like the over. I like the over. And they give me Stephon Diggs, my anytime touchdown scorer.
They've got to get him going.
Yeah, they got to get him in the paint this week, I think. I mean, I can see it happening this week, them getting him in the paint. Although he is questionable in the injury report, which makes me a little bit iffy on that, but I kind of see him still playing.
I mean, it's quick. I think Booty's going to turn into be maybe not this year, next year, but eventually he's going to be a really, really solid
he's been shown he's been a solid receiver for sure. Absolutely. All right, next up we got the Niners at the Texans. The Niners with a big victory last week. Dominating victory.
It was a dominating victory.
Christian McCaffrey went crazy. I think had 173 yards total from scrimmage.
The defense looked good.
Yeah, defense looked good, surprisingly, with all the injuries that they had. So, I mean, they actually performed really, really well last week. George Kittle coming back, him and Juszczyk in that run game actually solidified a lot of that scheme that Shanahan likes to run.
Because that was Christian McCaffrey's best running game of the year.
Yeah, it was his best running game actually since 2023.
Oh, 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he actually was, a very, very good running performance. I kind of went back and forth on this one because Nico Collins went out. I lost a parlay last week with two receivers going out with
that concussion.
Yeah, so I don't really see him playing because he hasn't practiced all week.
And that offensive line is still bad.
Yeah, and so you know what? Honestly, I'm going to flip my pick here because I actually had the Texans down, but I did that earlier in the week before we were going to shoot. So I'm actually scrapping that right now, and I'm actually giving me the Niners to go ahead and go on the Texans and cover that 1.5. And actually to win that game. And I like the under in an ugly little scrappy game at 41.5. Yeah,
I'll take the over. I got 41.5 as well.
All right. And then give me George Kittle as my anytime touchdown scorer.
I need that. Yeah, Come on, let's go.
He didn't get much play in the passing game last week. I kind of see them getting back in action. I think Purdy is actually going to be playing this week too as well. So it'll be interesting to see. That's the only thing that made me a little hesitant as far as the Texans winning that game.
They do show him having fantasy points online, but man, it is so low.
Yeah.
It's not like a normal quarterback's points, which kind of threw me off. So
yeah, it makes me a little nervous with Purdy coming back in to where I can see the Texans.
I mean, Mac Jones has been dealing this year. He might have found himself a new contract
somewhere. Oh, absolutely. And to me, honestly, I mean, the Texans defense has been playing lights out too as well. That's the only reason why I like
the under on that one.
Yeah, that's the reason why I like the under a lot because actually won me my fantasy matchup last week. They scored like 31.5 points.
31.5 points. It was crazy.
All right, so next up we got the lowly Dolphins here. I mean, who are just in such disarray. I mean, I think there's many franchises outside of the Titans that are in much worse shape than what the Dolphins are at right now.
So I went ahead and picked up Atlanta's defense.
They're probably a good call on that one. So if they're in Atlanta, they're going to play this game. 7.5 is what I have as Atlanta.
Yeah, I think Atlanta covers that all day long.
I'm with you on that one. I think they cover. I think they win, and I like the over at 44.5.
You like the over? I like the under in this one.
Yeah, see, I like the over.
I just don't think Miami has anything.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them scoring 10 points, but I can see Atlanta scoring 35. So
yeah, they should have fired Mike McDaniels last week.
Yeah, I think they're going to probably ride this out for this season for whatever reason. But I mean, I see them riding it out. Maybe they don't have a good interim option there right now. At this stage,
I can't ever think of the Miami Dolphins ever firing anybody midseason.
They have. They have.
Was it Weinstein?
No, it was because right before McDaniel was there, they actually had what's his name? MCDC, Dan Campbell. And Dan Campbell actually was their interim coach when they fired the coach.
Really?
Yeah, when they fired Brian Flores. I think they fired Brian Flores in season. They had Dan Campbell in there. I think he took over as interim, and then they let him walk after that season was gone. And of course, he went to Detroit, and the rest is history there. But I also like Kyle Pitts as my anytime touchdown scorer for this one. Yeah, I think he's going to get the end zone this one here. Like I said, I mean, you kind of pick your poison with anybody with this Falcons offense right now.
Actually, with Darnell Mooney coming back last week, it really cut into Drake London's targets big time.
Yeah, Mooney's a good target out of the slot. He's a very good target out of the slot. All right, so the next up here, we got the Giants at the Eagles. All right, so who you liking this one, Bobby?
I like the Giants to cover that. I mean, the Giants just beat them 2 weeks ago. So give me the Giants plus 7.5. I like the over 43.5. But I think Philadelphia wins this game because it is in Philadelphia.
We're in total agreement on this one completely. And then give me Jalen Hurts as my anytime touchdown scorer for this.
Little tush-push action.
Yeah, little tush-push, little scramble action. I feel like he hasn't been in the end zone in a couple of weeks. He's probably due to get there.
Man, they really got to get Saquon going. He is.
Yeah, and also A.J. Brown's going to be out in this game, too.
Terrible season.
Yeah, A.J. Brown's out this week, too, with the hamstring.
He is out?
Yeah, he's out with a hamstring injury. So they will be without Saquon.
Better lean on that run.
Yeah, so you're going to have to lean on that run. A lot of Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert action. All right, so next up we got the Buccaneers at the Saints. Another parlay I lost last week with Mike Evans going down with a concussion in horrible fashion.
Broken collarbone at the same time. Yeah, you get a concussion and a broken collarbone.
I mean, that's just devastating. You can see the pain that he was in, too, when he left that game. Who do you like in this one, Bobby?
New Orleans, even though they are scrappy, they're still 1-6. Tampa Bay has no reason to lose this game, and they're coming off a really bad performance last week. So they're going to want to turn this one around, beat a team they can beat. So give me Tampa Bay to win. Give me the over 46.5, and I'll take Tampa to cover.
Yep, I'm with you totally in agreement, except for I like the under at 46.5. Yep, I like the under at 46.5, only because they're missing some weapons there. The Saints' defense isn't horrible.
No, that's not.
Yeah, so I like the I'm going to go with the under on that one. All right, and then give me a Emeka Egbuka to score a touchdown, too, in this game here. All right, next up, we got the Titans at the Colts. The horrible Titans and the amazing surging Colts who are looking like absolutely... They're like one of the most probably well-rounded teams in the NFL right now.
For sure. What did you have as the spread on this game?
I got 14.5.
That's what I have as well. And I totally expect the Colts to cover this 14.5.
I'm with you, brother. There was nothing that could convince me to go with the Titans.
Did you see the sack and fumble for the touchdown last week?
I didn't see. I missed that.
Oh man, it'll probably go down in like NFL funniest clips. Just the way it went down. He's backing up. He's trying to get away, and the ball's just like flopping all over the place. Goes behind him. Guy scoops it up and scores. Yeah,
there's nothing that has me like giving the Titans any fight in this game, especially with the game being in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It's actually minus 1,200 on the money line for Indy to win this game.
Minus 1450.
You got minus 1450.
Let me see. Did it change at all? It's minus 1600.
Oh, jeez, yeah. I mean, I don't see any hope at all for the Titans to go ahead and win. Like, definitely not to win this game. But
this would be the upset of the year.
Yeah, usually spreads. I like to 14.5. That's a lot of points in the NFL. But I just like how Indy's playing right now, how the Titans are playing right now. I've got to go Indy to cover that. And I like the over at 46.5.
I'll take the under because I think it's just going to be Indy all day long and like 45 points.
And the safe pick for me, anytime touchdown scorer, would probably be Jonathan Taylor, but I'm going to go Tyler Warren because he has a little bit better juice and odds on that one. And he's just seemed like he's been like this unstoppable force there. They move him and use him all over the field, so I like that.
He's been really good.
Yes. All right, next up we got probably one of the best games of the week. We got the Cowboys at the Broncos here. Cowboys and the Broncos will be interesting to keep a lookout on and see if Patrick Surtain is going to be playing this week because it's going to be a tough matchup.
I heard an interesting stat after I made my picks, so I'll tell my picks and then I'll tell you what the stat was. So I like Dallas. Give me the 3.5 points in this game, over 50.5, and Dallas to actually go into Denver and win this game. I believe they can do it with that offense. They're just going to have to outscore everybody. And we just watched the Giants put up 32 points.
All right, absolutely.
On the Broncos.
Absolutely.
So I don't think as far as stopping Dallas, I just don't think it's any chance in hell. But the interesting stat, Dallas has not beaten Denver, the Broncos, at all, home or away, since 1995.
Which is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But you know what? I'm in total agreement, though, with you. I mean, the way that this Cowboy, I have never seen Dak Prescott play better.
Oh, he is just...
I mean, and I've seen Dak Prescott play well.
Yes.
Like, through the course of his career.
But
right now, I mean, this just looks different.
Just efficiency,
It just looks different, man. I mean, like, I will... And that's not me being a homer, because I am, like, the last person to be that type of person when it comes to football and the Cowboys, because I watch a lot of Cowboy football. But this Dak Prescott just looks different right now. I mean, the way he's playing... He's sharp, he's efficient, and
He
more
is.
confident than he just looks more confident than I've ever seen him play.
Right.
Like in the course of his career. I mean, and I've seen him play some really, really good football, but this is by far the most confident and sound football I've seen Dak Prescott play. And I like George Pickens as my anytime touchdown scorer for this one. But we're in total agreement on that game, though. Total agreement. All right, so next up we got the Packers at the Steelers for the Sunday night game here. The two classic teams in the NFL right now. The Steelers going to be wearing those ugly-ass throwback jerseys in this game.
Oh, them prison jerseys?
Yeah, they got the little pinstripe shit they're going to be wearing.
That is hideous.
I think the Packers are going to be going with the all-white, so that's going to be back-to-back weeks the Steelers are playing games where they get a team with all whites on. For me, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to win this game.
You think he's going to will Pittsburgh to the win?
I think so. I mean, I'm not fully sold on the Packers right now.
Well,
Honestly,
no, I mean they have not looked good in the last few weeks.
I mean, they have not looked great, really. I mean, outside of like that first week of the season where they looked really dominant.
Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that, they really haven't looked that great. I mean, they've won some games and they pulled it out. That tie with the Cowboys.
Right.
I mean, so for me, I like the Steelers to win this game.
Okay.
It's at home. They got to come after. They got to get a win after coming off that loss against the Bengals because, like I said, if they keep messing around, before you know it, the Ravens will be right there on their ass.
Yeah, right
again.
on their ass.
And the Bengals are going to be right there, like knocking at the door with Joe Flacco right there too for the rest of the season. And they don't let them mess around and hang in. And then next, Joe Burrow comes back at the start of December,
Yeah,
and then they're like, here we go. So I think it's a big game for the Steelers right now. I think they're going to win, cover that. They're going to cover the 3 points.
Okay.
I like the under at 44.5.
I agree with that. I like the under as well. I think this will be a nasty game, just because it is Green Bay and Pittsburgh.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, there has been no shit talking coming out like of either side. It's been nothing but love.
Both teams have mutual respect for each other. I think they're those classic franchises in the NFL right now. So I don't really see there being. I mean, Aaron Rodgers really didn't have any major animosity with them. Now, his biggest thing was with the Jets coming off of that way that went down at the end. He kind of knew the writing on the wall when they drafted Jordan Love. So I mean, he kind of knew there was going to be some type of.
He was the same thing. He
knew there was going to be a divorce of some kind. And then give me Jalen Warren as my anytime touchdown scorer in this game here. All right, so next, the last game of the slate here we got is the Monday night game, Commanders at the Chiefs.
Yeah, this one looked real exciting, I guarantee you when they made the schedule, but with all the injuries on Washington going on.
Jaden Daniels is down,
right
Marcus Mariota, we saw how bad he looked coming in for the scratch relief against the Cowboys last week. Terry McLaurin is expected to be playing this week, I believe. Yeah, I think they got him.
How about Debo? Is he coming back?
I'm not sure about Debo for sure yet. I think he's still questionable, but I know for sure Terry McLaurin, they're expecting him to get in, see what type of shape he's going to be in. That always goes to show you, though, when you have those holdouts in camp, I mean, that's always kind of
it never works out for the player.
For the player, I mean, you can get your money, but I mean, there's always going to be some type of compromising of your performance during the season because you just don't get those reps. You don't get your legs and body in shape getting ready for the NFL season and how vigorous it is. The 11.5 is a big spread, though.
I have 12.5.
No, you got 12.5.
Let me see if it's no. It's still 12.5.
Okay, so that was through FanDuel. That was earlier. I haven't looked at it.
I'll take the 12.5 points in this one.
I'll take the 11.5 for the Commanders to cover that at least. I think they're going to at least cover. Chiefs notoriously don't cover a lot of times. Right. I mean, outside of last week, they just totally destroyed those Raiders.
I mean, the Raiders only ran 30 plays.
Yeah, the Raiders got 30 plays in. I mean, they're a kind of hapless team right now. But I think the Chiefs will win this game at home. Yep. I mean, they're kind of steamrolling right now. Rashee Rice looked like he just hadn't missed a beat coming back in with that offense. I like the over at 46.5, though, too.
We're in total agreement there.
All right. So that's going to wrap up that slate for week 8. Week 7, I mean? Yeah, week 7.
Is it?
Yeah, week 7. Yeah, we're in week 7. I believe.
No, I think it's week 8.
God damn it. I'm trying not to make it go so fast.
No, it's going. It's going, buddy.
I am trying not to make it go so fast. But yes, we are at week 8. Son of a bitch.
So I got a 4-leg parlay right here. It's give me Chase to score, Jamar Chase. Give me Bijan Robinson to score anytime touchdown, Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown, and Rashee Rice anytime touchdown. That's plus 491.
Nice. I like that. So for my early slate games, I got a 3-leg parlay. I got Jamar Chase to score, Derrick Henry to score, and George Kittle to score was at plus 626.
That's a good one.
Yeah, plus 626. All right, you got the other ones on the slate?
No.
All right, so I got my afternoon slate of games here. Give me George Pickens, Tyler Warren, and Emeka Ibuka. That's at plus 1049. Plus 1049 for that one right there.
Some good ones.
Yeah, so I found some good ones there on the hunt there. And then I always have to throw one in for the primetime game. Make sure I'm able to stay up for the whole game there and have some interest in there. So I got Aaron Rodgers, 175 yards for his alternate passing yards.
Oh, yeah.
Jalen Warren, 25 yards, alternate receptions, and then receiving yards. And then DK Metcalf, anytime touchdown.
TD.
Plus 523 for that one. Plus 523. So, again, like I said, I've been going for ground rule doubles and not going for those home runs each time. All right, then we got Director Dave's dumbass picking. This is one back in action, baby. Back in action, but it's not too crazy. But
I don't know. This one is not bad at all.
It's not bad. We got Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, Devontae Smith, CeeDee Lamb, and Jonathan Taylor. Plus 32-44 anytime touchdown scores. That's a six-legger.
Oh, that's solid
That's
one.
not too crazy. These are guys that are probable to get in the end zone. You hit that one, the juice is worth the squeeze, baby.
Yes,
the juice is worth the squeeze. All right, so I guess that wraps up this week, brother.
That's all I got, brother.
Yeah, that's all I got. Any MotoGP, Dave, or are they out of season?
No, now's the time to bet it, though. With Mark Marquez out, you don't know who's going to win.
No.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Nobody bets it. You can't even find the bet.
Yeah, you can't even find that shit.
You tell me where to bet it, and I'll make a bet, Dave.
Well, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Add to the comment section. Make sure you get a shout out to Director Dave for keeping us up on the ones and twos. True on the tractor. Bless us with those beats. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.